Hi everyone, it's Jenny again. Thank you for watching Things I Wish I Knew. Today we're going to be talking about cars, specifically buying versus leasing. I know I've actually recently had to deal with this. So initially when I first got my car, and I was a little older, a lot older when I got my first car. I was 22 when I got my first car. And I needed my car for residency. So I originally leased my car because it's like, I don't know if I want this car. I just need it because I need to go to school and I just need to have it. It's a necessity. So I originally leased my car. 3 years later, now during this economic questionable time, the lease is up. And so now I had to make that decision. Do I want to buy the car from the lease? Do I want to return the lease and get a new car with the same dealer or the same brand? Or do I just want to return the car, don't get anything? Or do I want to return the car and get a different car, upgrade to a different brand? So that's kind of my mentality that I went through right now when I was deciding, should I lease again or should I buy? So I'll just give you a little tidbits that I learned from my leasing experience. So the good things about leasing. In leasing in general, you have flexibility in changing your car. So you can change your car every 3 years. You can upgrade, get a nicer car every 3 years. If that's your thing, perfect. That's what you want to do. Another good thing about leasing is most of the time maintenance is included within that lease, or you want to include it within that lease. And so you don't have to deal with maintenance of the car. Like you would just take it back to the dealer where you got it from and just have them do the maintenance on it, which saves you money. And in general, leasing is cheaper than buying. Of course, that deals with other factors like your credit and everything, but always in general, leasing is cheaper than buying. Say you can't spend so much money, maybe leasing might be the way to go for now, and then later on you can either purchase that car or just get a new car. Another good thing about leasing a car is because you're leasing a brand new car, it's very reliable. It doesn't have much mileage on it, the engine's good, so it's more of a reliable thing. I would say there are certain brands that aren't as reliable when you buy, and I'm not going to say them out loud, you just look them up. There's certain brands when you buy, you're more likely going to have to spend a lot of money on maintenance, and it's worse when they're higher end brands and they're German cars and you have to pay a lot of money for your maintenance. So always look at that before you end up leasing or buying a car. A good thing about leasing a car is that it could be tax deductible depending on what kind of person you're working. Are you a W-2 or are you 1099 independent contractor? So if you're an independent contractor, leasing a car might be good. You can put it as tax deductible on your taxes, so it might be good. Okay, the cons about leasing now. And I had to deal with this during this stay-at-home time, which has been annoying because it's so hard to get a hold of people on the phone. But anyways, I had to deal with the cons of leasing, which means it could be a headache to return a car, let me tell you. So I bought the car from a dealer up in the Bay Area. And so when you want to return that lease car, the dealer in that area, the dealer you got it from has to take it. No ifs, ands, or buts. They have to take it. Now the issue is I'm not driving all the way back to the Bay to return my car. I want to return it where I live. And so I had to call quite a few dealerships in my area to see if they would even take a lease car. And maybe it was just an issue about timing and the stay-at-home place, they're not selling enough, so they don't have space for it. So it was just a headache trying to find a dealer that would be willing to take my car. Now, with that being said, the only reason why these dealers would want to take my car is if I was going to lease or buy from them. So it was a caveat, like I had to buy or lease from them. It was really annoying in that aspect. And again, I'm not sure if it's because of the circumstances we're going through or that's just how they work, but understand when you're leasing, it could be a headache. Another caveat about leasing, and another cons about leasing is when you return the car, any little exterior nicks or scratches or something, you're gonna pay for it. Just know you're paying for that. Also interior, if something you accidentally rip something, you're paying for all that wear and tear. I read the informational book that they give you, the brochure about it, and it seems like normal wear and tear they're not going to charge you for it. But again, you don't do much wear and tear when you have 3 years of the car, at least the normal wear and tear, like things happen with accidents, little things like you ding it here and there, and that's what they would charge you for. Another thing, of course, with leasing, you're never going to own a car. So if you keep leasing, lease, you're never going to stop paying a car payment. And that could be good or bad, because it could be a good thing if you're wanting to have that tax deductible. You're always going to have something to do tax deductible on. Bad thing is, say you can't afford a car, you've been paying for 10, 15 years this car, you could have bought a car and not had to pay anything. So something to think about. Another thing you got to think about, and you're not told this when you sign the contract, but maybe you should read your contract better. Don't be like me, read it much better. There's always hidden fees when you're leasing. One of them is going over your miles. Every time you go your miles, there's a certain price that they put per mile. And then if there's like extreme wear in the car, like in the interior, all that stuff. So there's a lot of hidden fees that you're not aware of, and you're getting charged at the end of your lease. Now, the pros of buying a car. I'm not talking about buying a used car. I'm just saying buying a car from a dealer. The pros are you own your car at some point. You can start paying it off. So the best way to buy is you have all the money and you just pay it all off. But if you finance it after 5 or 6 years, it's your car. So after that time, you don't have to pay. Another good thing about buying a car is, say you accidentally hit a little pole here and there, you didn't see it coming, you ding your car here, you don't have to fix it until whenever you want to fix it, whenever you have the time, whenever you have the money for it. With the lease, obviously you have to fix it before the 3-year lease is ending, or they will fix it, but they will charge you. This might be cons in general, but you'll notice it more with buying. Literally, when you sign and the car leaves the lot, it has depreciated so much. So when you're buying, your car depreciates so much. Actually, when you lease it also depreciates, but you don't really care about it because you're gonna return it anyways. But when you're buying, it depreciates so much, you realize when you don't want it anymore, when you want to sell it, you're selling it for so cheap, not even what you paid for. So you're not really getting your money's worth, to be quite honest, with buying. But in general, cars, you don't get your money's worth. Another pro with a car is you're done paying it, you're done. Like, you save so much money, you don't have to worry about payments. Bad sides about buying a car, you have to pay for the maintenance. Always paying for the maintenance. Sometimes dealers will give you like, oh, we'll pay you get the first 2 years of maintenance, and afterwards you have to pay the maintenance. And it ends up adding up. Mostly if you keep a car for a really long time, it starts failing, the engines are failing, all this other stuff starts failing, and you're spending a lot of money in repairing it. At some point you're gonna just you decide, you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna keep the car because it ends up being really expensive to keep it. I'd rather just buy a new one. With any car, you always have to do the research. You have to the different brands, you have to do the research. The car model, the actual model, you have to do the research. You have to do the research about the reliability, their cost afterwards, all this other stuff you have to really worry about. And then really, the main thing about leasing versus buying is your lifestyle. What are you comfortable doing? It's literally about how you feel comfortable, your lifestyle. Are you that kind of person that needs a car every 3 years, or a new car because it makes you feel better, or like it helps with a certain thing? You know what I'm saying? It's all about your lifestyle. So if for you having a new car every 3 years is a priority, then you should lease. If it's not, then maybe you can think about buying. It depends on your lifestyle, your finances, and it's all about you. Anyways, those are my 2 cents about cars. I recently just went through this, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. In a brighter note, right now cars are pretty not inexpensive, but it's a lot cheaper than what they were compared to months ago, because you can get so much leverage off of them. Their APRs are so much cheaper now. A lot of them are giving under 2%, which is really good for buying a car, under 2% interest. Again, it's just hard, unpredictable what the economy is going to do, but if you're in the market for a car, you have the money to pay for it, I would suggest getting it now during the stay-at-home order. The long run, it's going to save you a lot of money. Anyways, any comments, any questions, put it down below. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Bye.